Welcome to the Church Solutions Podcast, brought to you by JSL Solutions. The Church Solutions Podcast is designed to help equip you and your church in the use of technology and other tools and services. And now, here are your hosts, Steve Lacey and Phil Thompson.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Church Solutions Podcast.
Hi, my name is Steve Lacey.
And my name is Phil Thompson. Thanks for joining us on this weekly podcast. We are with a company called JSL Solutions, and actually we have three fine products that we can offer you, your church, or anybody.
That's myflock.com, Church App Live, and StreamingChurch.tv.
All right. So obviously MyFlock is our church management system, content management, websites. StreamingChurch.tv implies streaming video, which is exactly what it is, and then Church App Live or mobile app. So enough talk about us. We're glad that you joined us. We talk obviously a lot about technology and how it works for your ministry, your organization, but we also talk about leadership topics for churches, since Steve and I are both involved in leadership or have been involved for many, many years. And today we're going to kind of, it kind of goes back to the technical side of things, I guess.
A little bit,
right?
yeah.
So what are we going to talk about,
So
Steve?
today we're going to talk about the top 4 reasons your church needs to pursue mobile giving.
So mobile giving is just, it's going crazy out there.
What is mobile giving?
Well, mobile giving would be...
People give their phones to the church,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, give your phone to... Well, I'm sure some people feel like that's probably a good idea. But the truth is, mobile giving has to do with people giving, donating, using their smartphones to donate to a cause, to a charity, or to your church.
Okay. Are we going to talk about different ways you can use mobile giving?
Yes, I guess. I don't know. Is it in the notes here? I can't remember.
I don't think we're getting in the reasons why, but my understanding, there's a couple of ways to do it. One is there's services out there that are text-based.
Yes.
So you can send a text to 45793 to donate $10 to the XYZ fund.
Yeah, something's going on, the earthquakes in Nepal or whatever,
right.
Something like that, yeah.
So,
and there are companies that you can work with them to make that happen.
To set that up so that the funds come to you.
Right, yeah. They get a little piece of the action.
Text-based giving.
Yeah, it's text-based giving. And I don't have this in my notes, so you're going to have to talk.
So the other means would be just basically pulling up a browser and getting, hopefully you're going to your church website and there's a give button on the church website, and you can give via your phone like you were on the web.
Right.
So.
And there's other ways too, but let's talk. First of all, I want to really hit hard on why this is so important. And again, I know we're speaking to, I say this every time, but it's true. We have different cultures out there, different churches, different backgrounds, different denominations, and that's great. I'm glad that we have so many different people listening to us. Our company services lots of different churches, different denominations, the backgrounds. But as we said last week, the culture is changing, and there is a large group of people now that have smartphones and use them for all sorts of purposes. So if your church is not really up on this or behind on this a little bit.
Did you see we did get some feedback.
We did. We got some feedback.
It was, it was good. It was, it was not good, but it was welcome. It was basically someone saying that I'm not going to change because Jesus never changed and the message never changed. And so wanted to, because our last week was on why your church needs to change.
Yeah, why your church needs to change. Because and last week was all about the culture.
To address, to move to the culture. So we probably want to just reiterate that you're not going to change the message, but you would change the method to reach. Paul said, I become all things to all people so that I can share the gospel. So that's kind of the tone behind our last week's message.
Yeah, and even what we're talking about today. And again, like you said, Steve, to clarify this, we're not asking you to change the message of the gospel or even the mission of your church. We're not asking you to change your mission. We're talking about adjusting what you're doing to meet the culture.
Right.
And I understand it's a controversial thing. This probably is as well. So let's just jump in. But we love feedback, negative, positive. We always love to hear you. So you can always send us some feedback, support at StreamingChurch.tv. So 81% of adults out there use their phones to send and obviously receive text messages. Mm-hmm. They use their phones to communicate. Back in my day when I was in broadcasting, we had pagers, and I had to give it up because they don't make apps for pagers, so I had to give that up. But the truth is, majority of people, a large majority that is growing, are using their phones. 63% of adults use their phones to access the internet. So it's no longer wait till I get home and boot up my lousy Windows system and try to check my email or surf the internet. Now they do it right from their smartphones. Yeah. 58% of adults are smartphone owners. My wife and I were laughing about this the other day. We were watching a TV show. It was The Blacklist or something. And all these people, FBI agents and all these people, whip out these flip phones when they're talking. Like, who has a flip phone anymore? But there are people that have them.
Oh, there's definitely people that have flip phones.
But 50, what did I say? 58% of adults
have smartphones, and that's 58% of all adults, right?
Yeah. So, and then 34% of adults say their phone is the primary way that they access the internet. Mm-hmm. So again, the whole thing about your desktop computer, it's going away.
Yeah, desktop sales are definitely down. Yeah. That's for sure.
Even more shocking is there's a prediction out there that by the year 2018, which is only about 3 years away, 2018 it's anticipated that 80% of all web traffic will come via mobile devices.
Wow.
So everything's going mobile.
Right.
And, of course, we've talked to our friends in Africa and some other different countries out there. They use mobile. That's their primary way. Some of these other countries.
That is true. And these stats were U.S. stats, right?
These are U.S. stats, yeah. Again, we're talking about mobile technology and using it for your churches, for your ministry, for your business's advantage. And unfortunately, a lot of people out there see it as a threat, but it's really it's a neutral thing, in my opinion. So you need to embrace it and use it to benefit your church. So there's lots of ways you can do that.
It's the new Roman road, right?
Well, I think it is. I really do. So you can fight it all you want, but if you want to really, and again, we're talking about pursuing mobile giving here. So this ought to spark your attention if you're a pastor, if you're a leader of your church. You're always looking to support your church, your ministry. You're always trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to make budget? How are we going to do this? Well, here's part of the answer, is giving people an opportunity to use their mobile devices to give.
I know that I just started using my phone to pay at retail outlets or commercial outlets.
Yeah.
So I was actually at Subway just a couple of weeks ago and said, let's try this pay with your phone. And I don't have an iPhone. I have an Android phone. Which
is ironic because you're a big Apple guy.
Yeah. But the person working at Subway there was like, that is so cool. I've never seen anybody do that. And it was, I guess, one of the first, but just did it again this week. And they're like, whatever. Ho-hum. Yeah.
All right. So let's jump in some reasons why you should start getting more serious about, mobile giving today for your church or your ministry.
All right. So number one on the list is because micro giving can have a major impact.
So micro giving is really a good example of this. Is years ago, about 5 years ago, the Haiti earthquake. In the months following that quake, the Red Cross raised over $43 million in text message donations alone.
Right, and their deal was they said text.
Yeah, text a certain number. I don't remember what the number,
and then they will donate $10. Yeah. So yeah,
$10
So they raised how much?
Yeah, they raised $43 million
through text.
Just text messages.
So that was just 4.3 million text messages, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it? 56% of the Haitian text givers went on to donate again from their phones in the future. So again, another it's just really beneficial to have mobile giving, have some kind of a strategy for your church, your organization, because it's really an on-ramp to new givers as well as repeat givers.
Right. So hopefully it's not too much of a tangent, but this was setting up a text-based system, and you mentioned earlier there's companies out there that will do that. I guess we don't know off the top of our head what the fees are. But I assume it's probably a percentage of revenue.
It will be, yeah.
Yeah, or a monthly subscription.
Yeah.
So, and we can't recommend a particular. I know we don't have any firsthand experience with any one of those guys.
No, I've heard. I was at some kind of a business meeting one time where somebody presented that. I think it was Mike's, one of Mike's deals.
And there's some that specialize in the church, right?
Yes, you can use it for the church. So something to consider and something to really think about. And again, you may not want to go the route of text message donations. You may not want to do that for your church. All we're trying to say here is you giving, it shows you what we just talked about here, shows you how eager and how easy, if you make it easy for people to give with their devices, they will respond. Right.
So you could even, I'm just imagining how this may work in, or does work in a church service, is you may say, hey, the youth are trying to raise money for kids camp.
Yep.
If you text, this to this number, that you'll donate $5 to the youth camp, and there's something really easy. People can, I got my phone here. I text what? Okay, that number. Oh, I just gave $5. Yeah. So something really quick and easy.
People respond.
And that would be considered micro giving, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And the other, I think it would be, and then again, we talked about this last week with the culture changing. My church is doing a demographic survey study, and we printed hard copies of a survey. This isn't about giving, but it does talk about mobile operations. And we also did it. We did a Google survey, and we put it online, and we put it on our mobile app, and we had people responding right there in the service to the survey using their app, which coincidentally comes from our company, churchapplive.com. But so when you make it easy for people to do anything with their phones, giving, surveys, polls, whatever, it will enhance your ministry.
Yeah, it'll reduce some of the friction, right? Because people say, oh, well, one of the things that we've experienced is somewhat related to this, but not. It goes to the point that if you can reduce the friction in the process, you're going to have a much better result. Yeah. So of the things that our church had done is we had pre-addressed envelopes, giving envelopes that were postage paid, and just made it really convenient. They took that home with their bulletin, and they go, "Oh, here it is. I forgot my check. Oh, I'll just drop it in." So,
I remember I was part of that process when I was
and
on staff at your church.
The giving went up because it became a lot easier. Now everyone, 81% of adults have a phone on them when they're at church. So, it makes it just pull out your text program and text that number, and life is, you can contribute.
Well,
very
and
easily.
Then that leads to the second point here. Giving, faster giving is going to lead to more giving.
Right.
So faster giving is going to lead to more giving. So again, I came across a study claiming that 80% of online donations which take longer than 30 seconds to complete are abandoned before they're submitted.
Wow, 80%.
80% if it takes longer. I don't know. I can't quote you the study, but I can.
You have the result.
I have the result here, and honest with you, I have been in situations online myself when I'm trying to do something. It may not be online giving, but it might be buying something.
Right.
And it just was such a hassle that I just gave up.
Right.
And you moved on. But this would, to me, it makes sense. So this underlines really what's important here when it comes to this, that attention spans on the internet, they're measured in seconds, not minutes. And so when we're looking at this paradigm here, the quicker you can make this for people when it comes to on their computer, on their smartphone, whatever it might be, the quicker you can make this, the easier you can make it for people to give online, the better results you're going to get.
Right. And you got a little stat here, a little fact, I guess, is that text gifts can be completed in 10 seconds or less.
Yeah. Texting can,
and if you've got a young girl, it could probably be done in less than 3 seconds.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, and then again, you can, we're talking a lot about these text gifts, but if you have somewhere where people can click on, so if you have your mobile app and you have donate button and they click on that and it's going to open right up to, whatever it is, whatever third party company you're using, PayPal, or there's lots of them out there, and people can easily type in their donation amount and click. Mm-hmm. That's going to benefit you. I've noticed that eBay does this. My son always has me order things for him on eBay, and I have an eBay account, and when I go to pay for something I buy for him, he gives me the money. Usually gives me the money up front. I pocket the money and then I send it off. I click. There's a little link on eBay that says, "Do you want to connect your PayPal account to your eBay account?" So this will make it even quicker and easier, which I haven't done for some reason. I don't know. Part of me doesn't trust eBay. I don't know why that is, but
well, and that it was a big controversy many, many years ago. But Amazon came out with they patented the one-click purchase.
I remember that. Yeah.
So the whole idea there was you can buy with one click.
Right. Well, and again, it's controversial, but the truth is, they were onto something.
Yes,
that is, the easier and the quicker you can make it, the better. My wife over Christmas. Okay, we use Amazon a lot. Your wife uses Amazon. There's always, every time I come to your house, there's packages piled up outside the door from Amazon. But my wife over Christmas did some shopping on Amazon for the family, and she ran across some Amazon offer where if you get a Amazon Chase credit card, we'll give you 10% off or something crazy like that. So she gets it, right? Didn't talk to me about it, I don't think, till afterwards. But the problem was that was the default card. So every time she bought something on Amazon, or if I bought something, or if we bought a pay per something movie on Amazon streaming, it would automatically default to the Amazon Chase credit card. Okay, and so what happened was, I'm looking at this credit card. I'm all of a sudden, I have a credit card that I didn't have before. I've got $256 on it. I'm like, wait, that's not. I didn't budget for this. And so Amazon is still kind of out there doing their sneaky little ways. But I like Amazon, and I like how convenient it is. Right. But getting back to what we're talking about here today, and that is, mobile giving. These businesses know what they're talking about. They're making it easier for people
quick and easy
to do a transaction.
Sure.
And so at church, you want to make it easy for people to do a transaction when it comes to giving. This whole thing is a little controversial for some churches because, you don't want people to get in debt. And I understand that. There's debit cards, there's other things, there's other ways to give. But, again, make it easy, make it quick. Don't have people jump through a bunch of hoops.
So the first one was because micro giving can have a big impact, and the second one is to quick and easy is
faster giving leads to more giving.
Right. And number 3 go ahead.
Generosity should not be limited to just Sunday morning. Generosity should not be limited. So what we're getting at here is, and we all do this, okay? We have our church services, and somewhere in there in the service, there's usually a time to give. Mm-hmm. Could be after the music, between announcements, could be at the end. I found years ago that it just seemed better to make the offering, available at the end of the entire service. But there's lots of different ways to do that.
So people can form their opinion on how well the preacher was.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's probably true, but I know that sounds kind of worldly, I guess, but again, that's where people are at. So the bottom line here is, if your church, your ministry, is you make this platform of giving, mobile giving, available to people, and they know it's available, they're not limited to just Sunday morning giving. Mm-hmm. And the fact is, not everybody goes every week to church.
Right. This ties into the pre-printed envelope kind of idea, but
right.
Everyone already has their phone on them.
Yeah.
So
they already have their phone. They're available either with their phone or even on their computer. We just came back from lunch, and I just got an email that's connected to my church's PayPal account and just said somebody just gave to my church using PayPal, and that was today. Today happens to be Wednesday. Well, we don't have services on Wednesday. We just have services on Sunday. So again, when you make that platform available, people are going to respond to it. They may not respond to it Sunday all the time because they may not be there, but they're going to respond to it if there's a reminder. Then it gives them, again, you
can do it at any time.
You're removing obstacles from giving. So I would put that, if you have a web page that a donate deal here where people can go, put that link on your newsletter. If you have an electronic newsletter, especially where people can click on it electronically, or even if they get something in the mail, you could put the URL, for the giving, have it on your Facebook page occasionally, put it on your social media occasionally, that people from your church, and if you have people on your church's Facebook page, put the link in there every once in a while. Not every day, or maybe not even every week. I don't know, but somewhere where people go, oh yeah, I can give right here on Facebook, just click there, Twitter. Get the point what I'm saying here?
I do. So number 3, generosity shouldn't be limited to Sunday morning.
Yeah, it should not be. And so, again, it's just, it's supporting the mission of the church and making it easier for people to do that.
All right. So are we ready to move on to our 4th point?
The 4th point on why you should really pursue mobile giving.
So, and that is because all the other cool kids are doing it.
All the cool kids are doing it. All right. Again, I can just hear some people going out there. We don't want to follow the crowd. Well, what we're getting at here is what do they call them? The millennials out there, that generation, the millennials. 85% of them are smartphone owners. Okay, 94% of that generation, they use the internet every day. And among millennial smartphone owners, 87% say their phone never, ever leaves their side. That's how connected they are.
Well, that's me.
Well,
I'm
you
not
and
a
I
millennial,
both,
millennial. But.
Yeah, but part of us is because of our companies and stuff and the things we do. Right. We kind of have to be by the phone a lot, which is one of our selling points, right? Is customer service. We have great customer service, so we're connected to our phone. But my point here is that over a third of them, which is about 34%, say they have replaced their personal computer. They've replaced it entirely with their mobile devices.
Wow.
So the bottom line is, these 18 to 29-year-old kids out there, and some of them are adults, obviously now, but they're connected. And so, again, making mobile giving.
You've got a point in the notes here that they are the most connected, but the least engaged givers in your congregation.
Yeah.
So it's an opportunity. If you create this mobile giving platform, then you're going to be able to pull these guys in.
Well, I think so. I really do. And again, touching on what we said last week, about the culture. I mean, this is all about the culture. I'm not talking about changing your mission. I'm just talking about how can you further enable your mission? How can you get it out there for people to get connected and get involved and buy into your mission? And one of those ways is to make it so that you're making it easy for people to give. And you're doing it not just Sunday mornings, but you're doing it where they can give anytime they want, any day, midnight, 2 a.m., 8 in the morning, whatever, 12 in the afternoon, making it so that people can give and really embracing that. So to your point, Steve, I don't really have any information on the text messaging thing. Maybe we can look that up a little bit and maybe come back to this a little bit. But I'm sure if people just Google, text messaging, donating text messages or whatever the terminology is, you're going to find some. But just be careful, beware, and make sure that you make a wise choice. Look, make sure you check references, but they're all going to take a piece of the pie, just like PayPal takes a piece of the pie.
Right.
And every institution does that's a third party, because they've got to pay their bills.
They're providing a service.
Yeah, they are. So nothing wrong with that, right? So,
right.
All right. Any thoughts here before we wrap this up, Steve?
No. So I'm just reviewing here. The first was micro giving. The second was faster giving leads to more giving. And the third was generosity shouldn't be limited to Sunday morning. And then the last is
the millennials. They're involved. They've got their phones. They're doing it. So
4 reasons why you should have or put together mobile giving.
You should have some kind of a strategy to do it. And if we can help you with that or anything else, let us know. We'd love to hear your feedback on this topic. You just send us an email, support@StreamingChurch.tv. That's one of our companies, StreamingChurch.tv. And you know what? Check us out on iTunes. You can subscribe to our podcast. Just go to iTunes, look for Church Solutions Podcast. You can check us out on YouTube. We have the audio version of this on YouTube. Just look for StreamingChurch.tv. And we also have several platforms that you can go right to it and see what's happening, like NewMediaMinistries.tv is another platform we put this on. And then you can always go to any of our main websites. We've got lots of websites. StreamingChurch.tv. What's the other one?
StreamingChurch.tv, myflog.com, and Church App Live.
So you can check us out on there. We'd love to hear from you. All right, so that wraps up this edition of the Church Solutions Podcast for this week. Thanks so much for spending a little bit of time with us, folks. We will catch you next time, and we hope you have just a great week so far, what's left of it, and a good weekend. And we will catch you next time for another edition of the Church Solutions Podcast. Take care.